He can spread the ball to as they try to find their rhythm here early in the season.
3rd and 1. Fake pressure from Stafford is buried. Ball is out. It's picked up by Dallas. Rumbling for the end zone is Lawrence. He's going to get there for the touchdown.
Yeah, we talked about this offensive line. 5 different combinations breaking down early. You see the ball come out. Demarcus Lawrence, the veteran, picking it up.
Riley Dixon to punt it away. Blocked! It's just sitting there, and it's picked up. Armstrong! Dorrance Armstrong had the strip sack to start. Now he's got a block punt and the recovery.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. The Dallas Cowboys have just beaten the Super Bowl champions, the defending, the reigning champions, 22-10. What do you think of the Dallas Cowboy defense? Where were you October 9, 2022, when the Los Angeles Rams, the defending, reigning Super Bowl champions, lost to the Dallas Cowboys 22-10 in their own backyard? Let's talk about it. I don't know what to say, but thank you for coming to my channel, J-Mac Sports 24/7. I am J-Mac. This is your first time coming to the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Help me build this channel. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Fellow Cowboy compadres, Cowboy haters alike, the Dallas Cowboys have just beaten the world champions, Los Angeles Rams, 22-10 in their backyard. I'm digging that. I'm digging that on all levels. We just beat 2 teams this season that play in the Super Bowl. I did not think we'd be 4-1 today. October 9th, 2022. I didn't think that. Did you? Come on now, don't lie. Did you think we'd be we'll be 4-1 right now on this date? We lost our starting quarterback first game of the season. We lost our starting left tackle. We had Tyron Smith practicing all training camp preseason at left guard. Our number 2 wide receiver was not playing. I mean, we was discombobulated. We was kind of tore up. We didn't know what to do. At least the fans didn't think so. When Dak went down, a lot of us lost hope. A lot of us thought the season was over with. I didn't think the season was over with. I thought we were going to have a rough season, depending on how long Dak was going to be out. But my most concern wasn't with Dak, it was the offensive line. That was my most concern. We just played, if not the best defense, the second best defense in the league today. And our offensive line held up. Now, Tyron Smith got beat a couple of times by one of the better edge rushers in the game. But he held his own. He's getting better. He's a rookie. You expect that from a rookie. I think we had some blow-ups as I'm going to butcher his name. I sent him Biatis. I got to look at his name. But he didn't fare that well either because we gave up 3 sacks. Let's get away from that. Let's talk about the positives right now. Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn called 2 incredible games. The offensive game and the defensive game. First of all, Dan Quinn is getting the best out of everyone on defense. He's getting the absolute best and then some. I like the rotation. Kellen Moore called the only game he could call, which was run the ball. And we ran effectively enough to win the ball game, and the offense did not screw it up. Unfortunately, we had 2 drop passes from 2 important pieces on our offensive team. Our number 1 and our number 2 receivers had drop passes. Disappointed in that. This is CeeDee Lamb's second drop pass this season. Both drop passes would have removed the chain. Actually, which was worse? Who had the worst drop? Was it CD or Michael Gallup? Michael Gallup was wide open. And just like CD the other day, I think he could have scored a touchdown. He was wide open. What is it that they can catch these incredible passes thrown to them, but the most easiest? We playing in midget football that we can catch. Why can't they catch people? Why are these receivers, number 1 and number 2, losing focus in crucial times? Because in my estimation, the really good teams to win the Super Bowl, not just doing the most difficult catches, but the more easier catches they need to do as well to get to the Super Bowl and win it. So I am concerned about CeeDee Lamb right now. I'm concerned about his psyche, especially after dropping his second pass. I did see him frustrated, more particularly in the fourth quarter, and I'm going to elaborate on that as well. I hope I don't forget. Let me go ahead and do it now. I saw the camera go on CeeDee Lamb. He looked frustrated. CeeDee looked frustrated to me, right? I do believe he was open a lot more times than he received the ball. And I think that's where frustration is with Cooper Rush. I think if Dak Prescott is behind the quarterback, a lot of passes are going to CeeDee Lamb. And I anticipate seeing that when Dak comes back, and everything points towards he will return against the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, that's not a given. It's not been stated yet. It's not a fact. It's just something that I feel. It's a gut feeling that I have. You know, I'm trying to read the tea leaves. I do think Dak will start against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. And by the way, I'm happy that it's in Philadelphia, being the first game of the 2 that we will play against the Eagles, because I do not like playing, as I alluded to in another video, that I do not like playing the Eagles in Philadelphia in cold weather. Although we have beaten them in cold weather, it just makes the game more easier for us, I believe. I still believe we are the better team of the 2 teams. I think we're the better team in the division. We're still the NFC East Division champions until someone, maybe be it the Eagles, take it from our dead cold hands. We are still the champions. The only thing the Eagles are right now are undefeated, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be, but you play who's on your schedule, as we do. You play who's on your schedule. And we just happen to play the 2 teams that play in the Super Bowl and have beaten them. In fact, we have beaten the Los Angeles Rams, the reigning, defending world champions of the National Football League. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Again, we didn't give us that moniker, America's team. NFL Films did. To those who don't know your history. And to those haters, the Cowboys didn't give us that moniker. It was NFL Films. Go look it up. Okay? NFL Films did this. And it stuck because it makes sense. All right, I'm kind of digressing somewhat. Let's speak on Dorrance Armstrong for a second. Woo! Who is Dorrance Armstrong? Dorrance Armstrong. Well, when you play football for the Dallas Cowboys, you become a household name. No matter what position that you play. If you're starting for the Dallas Cowboys, especially at quarterback, but any position, you become instantaneously a household name. Why is that? Because it's the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. I like to say that because I love to rub a lot of the Washington Commodores and Eagles the wrong way. because it is what it is. But anyhow, Dorrance Armstrong, wow. I mean, this guy set the tone right off the bat. And Cooper Rush didn't mess it up. You know, I think he had one or two errant play throws that he, could have hit the receivers, but for the most part, he stayed to Kellen Moore's game plan. Don't muck it up. Run the ball. Zeke, Thunder. Then there was Lightning, that 55-yard run. I think Zeke had like 78 for 22 carries. That's what you want. Excuse me. That's what you want. 22 carries. That's Emmitt Smith stuff right there. 22 carries, pounding. Loosen that daggone defensive line up, that the secondary. Loosen them up. And then you got Lightning. Strike around the corner, around the tackle, up the middle, up the gut. But then there's Dorrance Armstrong. There's Michael Parsons. There's Tank Lawrence. Trayvon Diggs. And for the most part, I do like Anthony Brown, even though he needs to learn how to continue to wrap up. For the most part, he does. Like Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is wrapping up, folks. He's tackling. Trayvon is tackling. You learn this when you start playing midget football, pee-wee football, midget football. You learn to wrap up and tackle. But for some reason, when these players leave college, and some stay and do it in college, but definitely in the pros, because they in the weight room lifting weights and working out, they feel they can come and they think they're Ronnie Lott. Everyone want to be a Ronnie Lott. And for the young guys who don't know, Ronnie Lott played safety for the for the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers. Or a D Wood, Darren Woodson. They a lot of those missed tackles because you want to lean your shoulder and you think you're going to pound somebody, a receiver, tight end, and knock them down. Because you're strong. You're going, and you think you have some sort of angle, a leverage, but then you notice that you're falling off and on the ground, and the guy continues to run by and gets the first down, moves the chain, wrap up. So for the most, I do see Anthony Brown wrapping up, but I did see him give on third down, allow a first down because he didn't wrap up. But Trayvon Diggs is wrapping up. Dorrance Armstrong, household name, becoming one rapidly. The boy's bad. I'm glad he's on our team. Boy's bad. He's going to get even better. Even better. But Michael Parsons is a freak. I mean, freak. He has this mentality, no matter how hurt he is, he's going to play. And if he's playing, he's going to still give you better than somebody else's best. Michael Parsons, we all know he's a real deal. He's a freak. I mean, I don't follow college football like I do college basketball. I didn't know Michael Parsons was Michael Parsons. I did not know that. I remember draft day, a lot of other fans from other teams, especially the Eagles, getting really, really upset when the Dallas Cowboys drafted Michael Parsons. I mean, it was like really upset. That goes to tell you I don't really follow college football. But I need to, and I'm going to try to get into it more. I do like college football. I'm everything North Carolina first, because that's where I'm from, the Tar Heels. And then there's the Irish, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Those are my teams. And of course, I like any HBCU. So there you go. So I didn't know about Dorrance Armstrong, Michael Parsons, Trayvon Diggs until they all came to the league, because I don't watch college football like that. So I'm going to get up into that and start learning more about that. But so I'm happy with our defense is playing, because our defense at this point are playing Super Bowl caliber defense, same as the Rams did last season. To win the Super Bowl, you have to have this type of defense. And to be so early into the season and playing the way they're playing, this game against the Philadelphia Eagles, against running Jalen Hurts will be interesting. Because my son called me, who is an Eagle fan, congratulating me on the win, but telling me there's no fear that he has on anyone on our offense other than slightly Tony Pollard. And I tried to share with him, okay, but you put Tony Pollard as a starter and let him run 22 times behind those better defensive line, you're not going to see this type of production, those type of terrific runs that you're seeing from Tony Pollard. So I'm glad he's on our team. So I'm going to dub them Thunder and Lightning. Zeke being Thunder and Tony Pollard being Lightning, and I'm glad to have the two-headed monster as well as the three-headed monsters that we have at safety on defense. Man, we're scary. We are scary. Our defense, it's been a long time coming since I've seen a defense like this for the Dallas Cowboys. A long time. I've been watching Cowboys for many years, man. For many a year, I've been watching Dallas Cowboys and hoping for a defense like this, praying for a defense like this, and giving the world champions, giving up only 10 points, and then that one pass, that bomb that Trayvon gave up. I'm not going to say he gave up because that was perfect coverage. That was perfect coverage. Unfortunately, it was against a perfect pass and a perfect catch. And that combination is going to beat a perfect coverage almost every time. It's not every time. Because if you look at the replay and you slow it down, Trayvon was right there, arms trying to swipe the ball away, right there. It just, it was a perfect play for the Rams. And then the one that Trayvon gave up on that slant, it kind of reminded me of a Jerry Rice San Francisco 49ers kind of play, because that was his bread and butter. That slant, and there he goes, right? Jerry Rice made his bread and butter on that play right there. And so it just happened that, Trayvon was on their best offensive player, if not their best player, Cooper Kupp, I think that's his name. And so he hit the angles in his favor as he caught the pass, and the touchdown it was the only touchdown that the Rams got. So I am digging the Dallas Cowboys. I'm digging our defense right now. I'm digging how Kellen Moore is running that offense, not trying to win the game for us with the passing game, because, let it be told, we did pass the ball an awful lot last season. But we're running the ball right now, and we need to do that and get used to running. And the run blocking looks really good. Now, yes, it may not look really good early in the game because both teams are fresh. And on the defense, a lot of times the opposing team, they're rotating just like we're rotating. So I'm liking the way Dan Quinn is calling defense. I'm liking the way Kellen Moore. And come on, let's give our head coach, some props, Mike McCarthy, because we heard the jokes. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you heard the jokes. You heard the snickering. But Kevin McCarthy is I like the way he got our team playing as a team, as a unit. He got them believing in them, the next man up. And it's not, Jason Garrett I think Jason Garrett is a great human being. And he's a great motivator. I hear that from so many of his former players when he was a head coach, how he was a terrific motivator in the locker room. So some place there was a disconnect that led to his demise of now being a colored man by play-by-play in the booth now, and he's not a coach any longer. He's a coach at heart, but he's not an official coach in the National Football League. So give our coach some props. He deserved it, because when Dak went down, Tyron Smith went down, Michael Gallup had not showed up yet. What did you anticipate? What did you anticipate? What did you expect the Cowboys going to look like? So I'm really happy. I'm I'm really, as I said, I'm really digging what offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator are doing right now. I'm liking the way Michael Parsons is got the other players on our defenses playing at their high level. And that's what great players do. They get other players to play great. A la Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. Okay? You get other players to play great. Before I wrap this up, let me go and give another shout out to my son and his new podcast with his co-host, What You Scared to Say. I implore you to please go check it out. It's interesting, it's dynamic, it's cold-hearted, it's cold-blooded. They talk about current events, things that's in the papers, that's on the media, things that you may be talking about in your own family that you don't talk in public about. They talk about politically incorrect stuff. And as I say, it's always cool to listen to young people. It's okay because you learn from young people too. They have different experiences. Yeah, we may have a more robust level of experience, but they have, this is different, age now. And a lot of things going on today that, wasn't going on when we were their age, and he's in his early 30s. And I would imagine it's the same for his co-hosts. And so it's a male-female tandem team. Go check it out, What You Scared to Say. Subscribe to the podcast. I do. Because, your opinion may differ from what they may be saying, but you get a nice idea of what a lot of young people are thinking right now. So I'm hoping one day that I will get a chance myself to be a guest or share some light on how I see things, from my years of experience. But so check that out. Again, if you come by for the first time to my channel, JMax Sports 24/7, I really, really would like for you to hit that like button. As they say, the young kids say, the young guys say, hit that smash button. Smash that like, turn on the bell so you can see the next, get notified when I have my next video come up. Whether you're on your iPhone, your mobile device, your computer, it's just you're on YouTube, you should get notification, next video come up. So I'm asking you to help me support the channel, help me grow the channel. I really appreciate it. Share this with your friends, with your neighbors, with your co-workers, with your brother, with your sister, with your mother, with your dad, with your uncle, with your aunt. Please share it. Have them like it. I really appreciate, again, the support, because I enjoy talking about our Dallas Cowboys, America's team, who was just beaten the Super Bowl, the reigning, defending world champions, the Los Angeles Rams. We just beat them 22-10 in their own backyard. Peace. 2 fingers.